Despite a recent RAM upgrade, the MacBook Air has been kind of relegated to second-class status in Apple's lineup, but it looks like the little laptop that once could is about to coulder a little bit more. If you believe the folks at Mac Alcantara, who admittedly have a bit of a touch-or-go history of Apple rumors have been substantiated by the folks at Redesigned and Economic Daily News, again, of questionable validity. But they all three are saying the same thing. The MacBook Air is getting a complete design refresh. So here's what we think we know. We are going to see our friendly I/O get removed, so that means we're no longer going to have Thunderbolt 2. We're no longer going to have USB-A, which is going to be a gigantic bummer, and no longer going to have MagSafe 2. It's going to be powered by USB-C, and of course it'll also be compatible with Thunderbolt 3, and that's the big design change is in the I/O standpoint. Supposedly it's going to take design cues from the MacBook. Apple's going to drop the 11-inch model, introduce a 15-inch model, so you have a 13 and a 15. Hopefully they'll be slimming down those just gigantically chunky bezels. This does leave a question though of where the MacBook Air is going to fit into the lineup. How does it slot with the MacBook? Is the MacBook a subcomputer to the MacBook Air? Is the MacBook Air going to somehow slot below the MacBook? And then of course the new MacBook Pro lineup on top of that. I think a lot of people are going to be excited to have a 15-inch MacBook Air. One thing we don't know is what's going to happen to an SD card slot that exists now on the 13-inch model. Hopefully that will stick around. There's been another less substantiated rumor that it's going to be a very high-spec machine, meeting 16 gigs of RAM on board and the latest processor from Intel, no Core M here. So hopefully it'll haul more ass than the Kardashians' Range Rover. Oh! All this MacBook Air redesign stuff wasn't that big of a surprise. It is a surprise though is the time frame. Supposedly this is going to debut in June, which does coincide with Apple's WWDC, which is coming up. Also reports saying that Apple might just announce it at a different time with a press release and it won't be at WWDC, but that doesn't make much sense. So what once looked like a software-only focused event for the next generation of OS X or Mac OS and iOS 10's introduction might also turn into a bit of a hardware event. Fingers crossed. Are a lot of you guys waiting for a MacBook Air? You've been saying, well, I'll just get a new MacBook Pro when it comes out because Apple's not really doing anything with the MacBook Air. I want to hear your thoughts on it. A few things we don't know what the screen resolution is going to be, if it's going to get that Retina display. Presumably it will, but then it begs the question, why would anybody buy a MacBook? So only Apple can answer that question. They're certainly not shy to cannibalize their own sales, so big shrug on the screen resolution. What do you guys think? What are your thoughts on it? MacBook Air, are you excited? Holding off for a MacBook Pro? Or are you like, hey, Apple, shut your face hole, I'm buying a PC. Until next time, I'm John Ranger from Techno Buffalo. Talk to you guys in the next video. So let's say you wanted to get a new MacBook Air and maybe you want to use it to collaborate with your team members. The folks at Atlassian have you covered. With Jira, you can assign and track and manage tasks for any projects, no matter how complex. They don't care. You can create and share with Confluence. You can message each other or text or video with HipChat, or you can test and manage code of developing a site with Bitbucket. The folks at Atlassian have you covered. Go to Atlassian.com. That's Atlassian.com.